Sorry about that. Hey, everybody, it's Andy, aka Max Ryder. We are back with another live stream. I forgot to unmute myself. Let's see how I sound. Let's see if I'm making any sound. Am I making any sound? Not much over this music. Um, that's okay. I'm gonna turn it way down if we can. Ooh, that's better. It's right in the background. Um, So as you can see, today we'll be playing Alone Against the Dark. Now this is the second time that I've run through this. The first time being the original Alone Against the Dark, which was published in 1985 for, I believe, second edition Call of Cthulhu. This one is the new Alone Against the Dark. Here it is again. This was published in 2000 and, well, my notes say 2017. The book, there's the book. The book says, oh, interesting. Sorry, the book says 2015. So, I mean, the book's obviously right. This one's for 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. And we're going to be making a few changes to it, though. When I run games, when I run Call of Cthulhu games, they become part of my game world. They are part of canon at that juncture. Um, I've got a whole timeline set up with them and that kind of thing. And basically what happens is everything becomes part of the history of the world. I'm big on canon, I'm big on continuity, that kind of thing. That's why I have a lot of problems personally, and we're not going to go into this right now, but with remakes and reboots that just take the original canon and just chuck it, and they're like, we're just going to start fresh. I'm not a fan. So anyway, we've played Alone Against the Dark for 2nd edition. I consider that on the same world, so I did a little research and decided that that this would be more of a sequel than it would be, say, just playing the same thing, even though we still have the same information. So we're going to need a little bit more background information on that. Now, I did a little research. I wanted to keep the calendar the same because the calendar is very important. It's really good for keeping track of what's going on, what you've done, for the most part. And this one came with a very fancy, nice calendar for 1931, September through December. And I want to use this. So I started looking for years that this would work, that September would start on a Tuesday, basically. I did some research. I found that the nearest one was 1942, which puts it at the beginning of World War II, at least as far as the Americans are concerned. And since the characters come from the United States, that could become an issue, could become problematic. I kept looking. I found that 1938 had the same kind of or 1948 filled the same thing. I didn't know if I wanted to push it back that far. And then 1953, I think, I can't recall. I had 3 different years. Not wanting to put it back that far, I then went through timeanddate.com is great for calendars, just wonderful, and went through and started looking at September through December of each of those years. Well, 1936 is a leap year. And so that pushes off the calendar at the bottom. So September of 1936, September 1st is a Tuesday, which means we can use 1936. 5 years after the original. Now, I think the last character that I used who survived but went to jail when I played Alone Against the Dark originally, and it took place in 1931, went to jail for, I believe, 7 years. I'll have to check on that, but we'll see. So he's still in prison in Egypt for stealing artifacts, which is fine. But I figured that these new characters, because this comes with 4 characters, we're going to start reading the intro. We're going to get through the intro today, I hope, and then we will move on to the main scenario. I got to make a character. They've got partial pregens in here, but I've got character sheets, and we're going to use them. We're going to rename them, and we're probably going to rename a lot of the characters that are in Alone Against this version of Alone Against the Dark. So it's 5 years later, but similar things occur. Since we already know a lot of the stuff that's happening, and we didn't actually kill anybody in any of the first ones. I think it's safe to say the notes. What we'll say when we start is that the notes and letters and telegrams that were sent back and forth between the original characters um, were found by somebody and either published, or these people have some kind of a, it may be written up as a work of fiction. No, you know what? These people knew those people, and they were able to get access to those telegrams and letters. So they already have quite a bit of information on what might happen, but they're still going to be looking for new information. Now, a lot of the new information is just going to be same old, same old. But it has been a couple months. When did I run Alone Against the Dark? Here, hold on. Let me check real quick on that, and then we'll get channel content. Yeah, channel content. And then we will get started on character creation of the first character, which we're going to have to name. Nobody's watching right now that it doesn't look like. So, which is fine. But, so I can't really, here we go, ask for people to say, hey, name them this, name them this. So I ran Alone Against the Dark July. Ooh. July 16th, 24th, 31st, and August 6th. So it's been almost 2 months since we've played this, but I'm still going to remember quite a bit. Let's slide this keyboard in. Now, again, I'm on this computer that's not the best, so if the stream ends abruptly, my computer's crashed. If that happens, I'll get back to y'all as soon as I can. Usually I just have to restart it, and it works fine after that. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works fine for a little bit and then crashes again. But we're going to try Alone Against the Dark. This one is for 7th edition. I'm really curious how it's going to be different from the original one for 2nd edition, because 2nd edition was deadly. You play Call of Cthulhu in 2nd edition, you'll be lucky to get out alive. I'm also going to have to spread out a little bit. I don't know why my phone is over here. It's not supposed to be. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't think till the last second to get this thing together. I was like, wait, I need some kind of a cover image. Run! Um, so that took a few minutes. I thought I was all ready, but apparently I wasn't. All right, so there's our calendar. We'll put this calendar with it. This is my timeanddate.com calendar that I printed out for personal use only. And let's take a look at the beginning of Alone Against the Dark. Matthew Costello with Mike Mason. Introduction. We'll go ahead and read this. Alone Against the Dark is an adventure for one player set in the fall of 1931. In this case, it'll be 1936. Whatever. I haven't really done a lot of checking on history of these countries that we're possibly going into, which include Greece and Egypt. Your goal is to solve strange disappearances and to forestall a calamity about to beset the world. You will journey from New York City to Greece, Egypt, Germany, and Antarctica. As the player, your job is to confound the forces of darkness before time runs out. You'll play one investigator, but should your investigator be eliminated for some reason, you can successfully assume the identity of a new investigator. There are 4 ready-made investigators provided for this purpose. Mostly ready-made. I checked that too earlier. This adventure is guaranteed dangerous. But no matter how skillfully you avoid death, your investigator will fail if they do not prevent the turning of the world and the freeing of the city of the old ones from the ice. Armed with a copy of the Call of Cthulhu rulebook, a pencil, and some role-playing dice, you are all set for the twists and turns of this epic world-spanning adventure. Sit back, get comfy, and prepare to be alone against the dark. That's pretty close to the original. Preparing to start. Read the introduction, getting started sections. That was the introduction. Author's Foreword by Matthew Costello in 2000. No, wait a minute. Okay, this must be a later print. Mummy found on page 66 is copyright 2015. So I guess this is a 2017. Hold on a sec. Yeah, there's no actual copyright on this except for that mummy, it doesn't look like. Weird. At least not in the front. So we're reading the Get Starting section. It's going to be very similar to the one I'm sure that we did 2 months ago. Copy or print out the handouts on page 91 to 94, ready for play. You will need to refer to these at different times. Done that. Also copy or print Professor Grunwald's investigator sheet, page 95. You may wish to do the same with the other three investigators. Some entries refer to information found in Call of Cthulhu Rulebook, 7th edition. You should have this book to hand. I do. Start your adventure to entry 13. So, I don't usually do end of the world scenarios, so even if we fail, something went wrong with them trying to destroy the Earth. I prefer my horror to be more intimate on a smaller scale then. If you fail, the world blows up. I can watch Doctor Who, any episode, and pretty much of the new ones, and that's guaranteed that that's what's going to be the threat. Author's foreword by Matthew Costello. Let's take a look at this. I hope this isn't too boring for everybody. Whoa, where do I start? I mean, to talk about this beast of a solitaire scenario I wrote so long ago, it would seem to invite retelling a hoary history of those heady golden days of role-playing games that no one could possibly be interested in but me. But, having said that, allow me a few quick points about Alone Against the Dark and my life before and after. My first game writing happened to be a solitaire Call of Cthulhu adventure published by Steve Jackson's pivotal magazine Space Gamer that was called, yes it was, The Thing in the Darkness. Despite the probably smirk-inducing title, which I have played and it's up on YouTube. Oops, I lost my place. Despite the probably smirk-inducing title, The Thing was something. It was Warren Spector's first game editing job, and he did amazing work on it. Warren went on to become a game legend. A legend? To paraphrase Lauren Bacall in The Maltese Falcon, Google him. You do know how to Google, don't you? Or as Dr. Steve Brule might suggest, check him out. It was the first Call of Cthulhu Solitaire adventure and the first ever published in the magazine. Yes, that was the first one. We didn't play it first, mainly because I didn't have it yet. I had to order a copy of Fantasy Gamer magazine. It should have been the first. I wish I'd have planned for these a little better. Anyway, it was the first Call of Cthulhu Solitaire adventure and the first ever published in the magazine. I went on, here comes history, to write and design various Dungeons & Dragons and DC Heroes solitaire adventures as well as Marvel game books. I did the Daredevil scenario way before he got uber cool on Netflix. What the hell? This is irritating. That should not... Just leave me alone. Why is stuff beeping at me all of a sudden on this computer? Somewhere in there I contracted with Chaosium to create what would be my RPG magnum opus and, at the same time, my swan song to the world of adventure. Working on Alone Against the Dark with a 3-year-old child and a newborn in the house, I filled my small office with file cards taped to every bit of wall space with arrows and lines connecting them all as if I was hot on the heels of some globe-trotting Hannibal Lecter. Which in a way I guess I was, albeit with tentacles. Along the way, using a cast of characters who any player would have a hard time keeping alive, I would take my intrepid investigators around the globe to fulfill the dire promise of the scenario's subtitle, Defying the Triumph of the Ice. Defy, that is, if you could survive. The scenario, I have been told, is very tough, but then it is Call of Cthulhu we are talking about here. And after Alone Against the Dark, well, I am Googleable as well. I went on to write dozens of novels, mostly horror. A film was made of one. Video games, The Seventh Guest, Doom 3, Rage, some television, and all that goes on today. But one thing I need to make clear here. All that grappling with multiple storylines and characters, player choices, and alternate events and outcomes in Alone Against the Dark prepared me so well for the possibilities of linear storytelling that I'm forever grateful for the experience. I consider it as part of my writing bedrock. When I write a scene, in a novel for example, I can see all the multiple choices and I can get into the skin of the characters and begin to think, what if this? What if this? What if that? And if I could have and I could not have done that without facing the ice myself. So, the role of Alone Against the Dark is my creative development pivotal. Oh wait, so the role of Alone Against the Dark the role of Alone Against the Dark in my creative development pivotal. And I, for that reason, never lost my affection for Alone Against the Dark, and also for the Herculean editing efforts of Lynn Willis on the original, which somehow turned into a pricey collectible. Yeah, I got a copy, not for a bad price, actually, which I was happy. It's in great shape. Thanks to Chaosium and the new edition's editor, Mike Mason, Alone Against the Dark now rises from the eons of time, 30 years, and lives again. I could not be more pleased. So, as you embark on this great quest against the old ones, I hope you will be pleased as well. I might add, stay safe. But in the case of this scenario, I'm afraid that will clearly be impossible. Matthew Costello, 2017. So we have played the original Alone Against the Dark, and we have played The Thing in the Darkness. Oh, where is it? Wow, I just read it and now I can't find it in this text. Yeah, The Thing in the Darkness, which I died. Thing in the Darkness killed me, which is fine. I got I got killed by an insane professor, and well, I killed the insane professor, but his wife shot me in the back. And I never did really figure out what was going on. I think I skimmed over that just to check. Getting started. Ooh, my back's starting to hurt. Hold on. Let's reposition myself in this torture of a chair. You'll need a pencil, scratch paper, boom, dice, boom, and the Call of Cthulhu Rulebook, 7th edition. Copy or print out the 4 ready-made investigators. You'll start the adventure with Professor Grunwald. And we're going to change Grunwald's name, too. We're just going to rename him. When first beginning play, design only Professor Grunwald, the initial investigator. Since each investigator communicates with the next, it's reasonable and proper to design succeeding investigators in the light of what has happened in the past, as well as to suggest the particular investigator's backstory and experience. Alternately, you can roll up your own investigators completely from scratch. See optional investigators. Use the ready-made investigators in order. If all 4 die, you have not lost. You can begin again, either using Grunwald or try an investigator of your own design. When you finish a series of 4 investigators, turn back the clock. Grunwald's initial starting position is always September 1st, 1931, and try again. In this case, we'll be starting on September 1st, 1936. The order of play. Now, they've named them the same except for the woman. There was one female character here, and I forget her, Lydia McIntyre or something. And this is Lydia Lau, who's also a reporter for the New York Sun. This will be eerily similar to the first time. Investigators succeeding Professor Grunwald begin in play at stated amounts of time following the death of the preceding investigator, and the order of play does not change. If using investigators of your own design, just substitute in their names. We're going to change Grunwald's name. Now, each of these sheets has a few of their skills on it. Just a few skills. And then down next here it says 150 points to spend as desired. So we're actually going to transfer these to regular character sheets. I wish they'd have put these guys on regular character sheets, even if it was just the front page. I've got a slew of these that I've printed out over the years for my regular game. So that's what we'll be doing first today. We'll be setting up the professor. We're going to name him. I got to find a name for him. The investigators. 4 ready-made investigators are included. See the handout section at the back of this book, page 91. Note that only certain skills have already been allocated points. You have a pool of 150 skill points to spend on any skills. This can include increasing those skills already allocated points or choosing other skills to broaden out the investigator's abilities. See, they didn't give us certain skills in the first one, which I like that they have in this one. I like this much better because obviously these are probably relatively important. So I'm glad of that. I also don't have my player dice. I'm using my keeper dice, which maybe will go do better. Although the last game that we played, those player dice were kicking butt. You'll notice that although some of the investigators have weapons written down, they only have the base skill chance for the weapon written down. They only have the base skill chance for the weapon written down. It's up to you to decide if you want to bolster their combat skills or focus more on non-combat skills. As a guide, the following skills could be useful: climb, charm, fast talk, fighting, firearms, history, intimidate. Dodge isn't on here. Dodge was key in the last one. Almost every time I died, it was like, make a dodge check, and then blah, I'm dead when I fail it. History, intimidate, jump, library use, listen, persuade, psychology, spot hidden, stealth, and throw. Allocate the 150 bonus skill points as you wish. Of course, you'll have to pick which skills you think are going to be useful. That's part of the game. Note that a blank investigator sheet is provided, which shows you all the possible skills as well as base chances. Right. You may find it easier to download a writable PDF 1920s investigator sheet from www.chaosium.com. Note that PDF versions of the ready-made investigators are also available to download. Right, I have a PDF of this whole thing, along with the handouts packet. When you purchase something from Chaosium, such as Alone Against the Dark, you get Man, her glasses just popping. Uh, when you purchase from Chaosium, you get the PDF of the product for free, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful thing. You may award skill checks for skills successfully used. See Investigator Development Phase, page 94, Call of Cthulhu Rulebook. But your investigators do not increase skills during this adventure. Thus, if they survive to the end of Alone Against the Dark, then an Investigator Development Phase can take place after the scenario's conclusion. An investigator entering the game anew will have his or her skill points redistributed, but the total should neither increase nor decrease. Okay, so we'll get on to the rest of these rules. There's a couple pages, but we should be done. Ugh. We might only get about an hour of play done. But let's see. All right, we need to rename Grunwald. Grunwald. Instead of Louis Grunwald, we will be using here in 1936. Let's note that at the top of the page. Terwilliger? No, it should be something that's sort of like Grunwald. How about Green? How about Harold Green? His occupation is professor. I always forget. I always think there's two F's in professor for some reason. His age is 53. He is male. His residence is Arkham. He has a strength of 70. Jeez, okay. Appearance 55. This is a weird order. Oh, con of 50. We're going across on this one. Size of 45. Dex of 60. Not too bad. Where am I here? Intelligence 70. Appearance 55. Power 55. Education 93. Not too bad. His movement rate is a 7. So he's going to have, what's his sanity? His sanity is 55. Let's go ahead and circle that. 55. And I probably should have done this on one of the other character sheets, but what's his luck? His luck is only a 50. So that's different from the original, because luck and sanity and power are all the same in second edition. Damage bonus is none. Build is 0. Build 0. Damage bonus none. Magic points 11. It's not a lot. Hit points. Hit points 9. That could be bad. Combat. Right now his brawl is 25%. Fighting brawl 25. Dodge is 30. Yeah, it's half his dex. We're going to up that. I'll tell you that right now. Let's go ahead and plug in 150 here. Okay, I got a calculator up here. All right, credit rating 35%. That's not bad. Language own German. Huh. That's kind of neat. I like that actually. Language own is German at 90%. Language other. English at 60. Latin at 45. I don't think I found any Latin in this. Nordic at 40. Hieroglyphics, we have to add that to the end. Language. Hieroglyph. That's 50%. That's not bad at all. Library use is 60. Persuade is 40. I think we're going to up Persuade too. Psychology is 30. We're going to up Psychology. And Science Cryptography is 40. Now we have 150. Oh, here, we can put his description. Prominent nose, mustache, usually messy and unkempt hair. Significant people. Ernest. We got to rename Ernest. We got to rename Ernest Hull. We might as well give these people, except for Lydia Lau, we're going to leave her name the same. So instead of Ernest Holt, the financier, let's see. What should we name him? Um, what is happening here? Hold on a sec. What is this? Oh, somebody just sent me a very positive message. Private messaged me and said, "Hello, fantastic streamers. You have a gorgeous stream going right now. That you performed incredibly well. Keep up the fantastic work." Well, thank you. That's very sweet. All right. We need a new name for Ernest Holt. Um, Ernest P. Worrell. Ernest. That's a good name. It means, forthright, sincere. Shoot. I hate thinking up names like this so quickly. I like Holt. It's a solid last name. I don't know. I need something that stands out, like J.P. Morgan or um, what do I name our friend here? Harold Green. And we're going to go with Joseph. Joseph Patton. And then there's going to be, friend. Lydia Lau. And she is a student. And then there is Devin Wilson, who we're going to name David Williams, student. So there, we've got all our names. I don't like Joseph Patton. Ernest Holt, we should keep the first letters the same. We did change him. He was Harold. Let's change his first name. Instead of Harold Green, let's go for Lester. Lester Green. We're going to try to keep all the first initials. So Ernest Holt is going to be Eric Hutton. And that way there at least they have the same. Available cash, $2,200. Yeah, and now I've got 150 points to spend. And basing that somewhat on some of the earlier stuff, let's up his dodge to 50 at least. And I need to look up a rule. I've been playing so much before 7th edition that I can't remember what point blank. I haven't used guns in any of my games in so long, it feels like. I'm looking at point blank for weapons, because I know it used to be back in the day double the chance, but it might just be a bonus die now. So chases, sanity. Where the hell are the guns? Combat. Okay, I was in the wrong chapter. That's why. Okay. Wounds and healing. Don't want automatic fire. Firearms. Point blank range gives you a bonus die. That's okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay. So it's just a bonus die now. So we gotta subtract 20. That's weird. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Minus 20. Okay. I don't think fighting brawl is going to help a whole lot, but we will up handguns to 40%. There's another 20. We're going to up persuade to 60%. and psychology to 60%. $30, $60. How much have I spent? It says I have 60 points left. So yeah, I spent 90. Um, what else do they recommend? Let's take a quick look. Climb, charm, fast talk. Oh, fast talk. I don't see, this guy's not a liar. As a matter of fact, traits: loyal, curious, honest. Not to a fault, but those are some of the traits I like for him. Fighting firearms, history. History. That's a great idea. History starts at 5. Alright, let's drop 40 points into that. That'll give me a 45. 20 points left. Intimidate, jump, library use, listen. Listen. We'll put the last... Oh! We're going to put the last 20 points into stealth, in the hopes that maybe I can sneak away. It's kind of spread out. The thing about these alone against scenarios is that you're alone. And in a regular game of Call of Cthulhu, you've got people who can help you out. And that just ups the tension. Alright, so there is Lester Green, Professor Green of Miskatonic University. Let's see what else we've got here. Optional investigators. I'm trying to get a... Wait, let's push this in. Get rid of this calculator. We shouldn't need it now unless we die very quickly. 7th edition is a little less dangerous, I believe, than some of the earlier editions. So hopefully I'll at least survive a little longer. You may, if you prefer, use one of your own investigators to solve the mysteries of the Carpathos device, the cult of Aten, and the secrets beyond them. This adventure is quite dangerous, and you may need to revive your investigator many times before he or she triumphs. Unless you agreed that your outside investigator can die, you know what I should have just done is just made up an investigator, brought him in directly after all the others. But no, that's not how we're going to play this. We're playing it straight up. You may need to revive your investigator many times before he or she triumphs. Unless you agreed that your outside investigator can die, he or she should not retain skills, checks, skills increases, changes, insanity, or other characteristics, new spells, magic items, and so on as a result of the adventure. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Your investigator should follow the sequence of the investigation included within this book. The first investigator always begins in Professor Grunwald's place at entry 13, page 11. Let's write 13 down. Your investigator can negotiate with Miskatonic University administrators or immediately start the chase. Even if they do not die during the course of the play, several of your investigators are likely to become temporarily or permanently insane with specific game results. In this adventure, only temporary and permanent insanity exist. Treat indefinite insanity as temporary insanity. Ignore phobias and manias. The scenario does not utilize these consequences of insanity. An investigator who is reduced to 0 sanity points becomes permanently insane and is out of the game. Treat him or her as dead and warm up the next investigator. An investigator who is temporarily insane is out of the game for the rolled amount of time. Roll 1d10 for the number of hours the investigator is out of play. Oh, during this time the investigator... Oh, that's true, because you're alone. And that's the rules. You can either be out for like 1d10 rounds if you got people around you who are your allies, or 1d10 hours. And then you wake up in a ditch or something. During this time, the investigator will be huddling in a corner and so on. At the end of this period, the investigator is sane. As an option, because temporarily insane investigators are likely not to write, the player may activate the next investigator instead, play the latter until his or her demise or success, then return to the former investigator if the latter dies. At that time, though, the rest of the days of insanity must be taken. Well, this says, okay, it says 1d10 hours. Okay. Make a note in the journal that you remember what's going on. So that you remember what's going on. Leapfrog only one investigator at a time in this fashion. 1d10 for the number of hours the investigator's out of play. But then they talk about days. Alright. Becoming sane again, an investigator starts the same entry number as when he or she went insane, but the encounter which precipitated the insanity is presumed over, and the player should go to the next entry or backtrack to an appropriate decision point. When in combat, your opponent's fighting skill will be noted in the following manner. Attack, percentage, and damage. 50% is the regular attack roll, while the numbers in parentheses denote half hard and 1/5 extreme. Right, I know this. Okay, hold on. Success levels for figuring out who won the combat round, i.e., who got the best levels of success. Damage shows the dice you must roll to determine how many hit points loss your investigator suffers if your opponent successfully hits you. Does this guy have any guns written on his character sheet? No. So Grunwald/Green does not. Ignore major wounds for this scenario. If your investigator is hurt, they will naturally heal 1 hit point per day, or they may seek medical assistance, if appropriate, to their location. Assume treatment occurs without mishap. Make a luck roll. If failed, 1d3 points are recovered. If successful, 2d3 hit points are recovered. If you had an excellent doctor. Okay, so it's luck instead of medicine. Assume 1 day of recovery for each such treatment. Mark off recovery time on the calendar. Okay, see, so that's a lot easier than it used to be. The investigator starts at the same entry number as when he or she suffered injury, but the encounter which precipitated the injury is presumed over, and the player should go to the next entry or backtrack to an appropriate decision point. Using luck points. Oh, here we go. My luck is only 50% with this guy. What's the next one's luck? 55. It's recommended that you use the optional spending luck rule. I hate that rule, but I'm probably going to use it. See page 99, Call of Cthulhu Rulebook. The rule allows you to spend your luck points to alter the result of skill or characteristic rolls. You may alter it on a 1-for-1 basis, and spent luck is deducted from your current luck total. Here's a couple of examples. You're in combat with your opponent, making an attack and succeed with a regular. You have decided to fight back rather than dodge, but have also rolled a regular success. Opponent wins combat with a tie. Your fighting skill is 50%. You rolled a 49. You may spend 24. Okay. Note, for the duration of the scenario, you cannot regain spent luck points. Okay, good to know. Each time you spend luck points, and that's good that that's here in the beginning. I like that. What about pushing rolls? There's nothing about pushing, it doesn't look like, though. Okay. There might be stuff written in the actual text for that. Each time you spend luck points, you lower your investigator's luck percentile. If you're asked to make a luck roll, you must now roll equal or under your lowered luck total. If you spend all your luck points, you could end up on 0 luck, and this is not a good place to be. Remember, you cannot spend luck points to alter damage rolls, luck rolls, sanity rolls, or rolls to determine the amount of sanity points lost. Okay. Alright. About time. Your investigator may never know it, but they are involved in a collective race against time. To win, you must allot time to their activities in an efficient manner. This always makes me super anxious, but it is good. It is a really good thing. Every hour of every day must be accounted for in the 1931, in this case 1936 calendar, pages 48 and 49. A number followed by an A is a morning hour. A number followed by a P is afternoon or evening, and the N stands for noon. M stands for midnight. Let's take a look at this thing. This one is a little more compact than the last one. It starts at 6 a.m., noon, 6 p.m., midnight. Okay. Oh. I gotta stretch my legs. Hold on a sec. Oh. Wait, this is Alone Against the Wendigo. What the hell? Hold on, let's fix this. Creator dashboard. Stream manager. Oh my god, what happened? Alright. How do I change it? Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Creator dashboard. Stream manager. Edit. Alone Against the Wendigo. Alone Against the Dark. Add the tag. Boom! And everything else is fine. Get out. Let's go back to the channel. Oops. No, go away. Alright, sorry about that. I just realized that's been saying Alone Against the Wendigo since we started. I never changed any of the tags. At most locations, the amount of time that passes is specifically indicated, but not always. Sometimes, as at a library, passing time is indicated by the number of topics studied. In other locations, different arrangements may exist for noting the passing of hours or for other record keeping. Movement from one location to another location on the same location table is assumed to take exactly 1 hour, no more, no less. This time cost usually is not noted, since your investigator may go from one location to another when they wish. In New York, Athens, and Egypt, you may walk from location to location rather than taking a taxi, an action costing an additional hour per each such stroll. Additional hour. Just like before. Travel between the location tables takes the amount of time specified at the. That's weird. Travel between the location tables takes the amount of time specified at the port, airport, or train station. During a journey, the passing of time may change according to the situation. Such specific instructions for travel time record keeping will be found in pertinent entries. Note any losses of hit points or magic points on the calendar, or enter the loss hour and day in your journal. Note any losses of hit points per share. Okay. Make a habit of studying the calendar or journal to see when these points can be regained. Hit points regenerate at 1 point per day. Magic points return at the rate of one per hour to the investigator's normal maximum. In search or research situations, rifling rooms, quizzing suspects, examining library holdings, etc., each interview or topic costs 1 hour. Be patient about these amounts of time. What anyone actually gleans is not necessarily a function of the time they invest. Special time. At several points, the general timekeeping scheme of Alone Against the Dark changes. Those points will be indicated in the text and instructions given. Food and sleep. Investigators must spend time every day to sleep and eat. 2 hours per day must be given over to eating. A meal always lasts 1 hour. The 2 meals of the day must be separated by an interval of at least 6 hours, so breakfast, dinner. On the calendar, circle the hours so spent. Conveniently, meals may be obtained at any time during the 24-hour cycle. One or both meals may be skipped for one day, but must be made up the next day along with the second day's meals, which cannot be shifted forward. Okay. If your investigator is unable to eat, the meal periods must be spent resting with the same loss of time. He or she loses 1 hit point for each day of fasting. Meal availability is part of the information available in the locations table. 8 hours per day must be spent sleeping. Alas, none of your investigators are good at catnaps. The time spent sleeping must be in a continuous block. 8 hours. And they all need their sleep. An investigator may sleep fewer than 8 hours in one night, but all the lost sleep time must be made up the following night as part of a continuous sleep block requirement for that second night. Circle the hours spent sleeping so that you remember. Okay. Okay. I was going to scratch them out, but that's fine. You cannot stock up on food or sleep. Sleeping 10 to 11 hours the previous night does not change your need for 8 hours of sleep the next night. Similarly, stuffing 4 meals into an investigator one night doesn't prevent the need for food the next day. The telephone. Each location table shows location from which information may be obtained by phone 079 calls. Interesting. So, let's find the location stuff. No, that's the ship. I printed out the locations and I printed out the ship stuff because that always becomes, oh wow, those phones are huge. That's easy to see. Okay, what do they mean by 079? Is that the entry that I have to go to telephone? By phone 079 calls. No. Each location table shows locations from which the information may be obtained by phone. I think it's a typo. I think it's just phone calls. You can call from any residential entry. You do not need to be at an entry displaying the phone symbol. You can call from any residential entry. You do not be. Okay. While you can learn timetable, fares, and hours of business by a phone call, you cannot conduct interviews or follow up on an entry reference by means of the phone. Locations also may contain data obtainable only by visit. Such information will be apparent in the relevant entries. Local calls can be made while long distance calls are not available. Okay, that's fair enough. Equipment and supplies. At stores in Arkham, New York, Athens, Cairo, and Alexandria, you may purchase any item available on the equipment lists of either the Call of Cthulhu rulebook or the Investigator Handbook. Oh, I don't have the Investigator Handbook out. Figure that most run-of-the-mill items can be gained. Write down any items to the back of your investigator sheet. Try to avoid buying beyond the reason and capability of your investigator's credit rating. There's no keeper to monitor your spending, so be honest and try to play within the spirit of the game. Financial record keeping is not required. If your investigator could reasonably expect to purchase a certain item in a given location, then just note the item on the investigator sheet and don't worry about the cost. That's cool, because I'm definitely buying a gun before we go anywhere. And with 35 credit rating, I can afford a freaking gun. Lacking cab, train, boat, or plane. Be reasonable in how much your investigators carry. All items can be left safely for the day at a hotel room or vehicle. If an investigator dies in a private place, a succeeding investigator can acquire the property by reaching that entry number and making a successful luck roll. That's new. Each investigator can pass on property once in a game. For obvious reasons, an investigator cannot inherit from himself or herself, fail the luck roll, or die in a public death. Wait. Fail the luck roll or die in a public death, and on any property is out of play. So, die in a hotel room, or yeah. The journal. Use a notebook or scratch paper to record anything pertinent during the investigation. Keeping a note of your current entry number, any special instructions, as well as the game date and time are all useful things to get into the habit of recording. You may wish to make a note of any particular equipment or weapons your investigator has on his person. Object of the game. To get a perfect score in Alone Against the Dark. Oh, there's a scoring for this one. Um, oh, okay. To get a perfect score in Alone Against the Dark, you must have saved the world without losing a single investigator on the way. That is, your original investigator, Professor Grunwald, must have survived and succeeded. Though desirable, that outcome is unlikely. Be prepared to lose several or all of the investigators, and even run all four several times in repeated attempts to complete the scenario. Investigators do not exist to survive, but to battle great forces or lose. Levels of victory. Oh, the number of investigators lost before the world is saved. Which I would say means jail too. So the last run through, I lost all four. Three died, one went to prison, um, which makes that a modest success. Yeah, it says lost. So I'm assuming, well, that could be considered an excellent success if you don't count the last one as dead, since he's just in jail. Though this adventure is pre-plotted, the location system gives considerable freedom of action, letting the investigators direct the general order of research and encounters while the workings of the encounters themselves remain fixed. The locations tables, page 93 to 94, which I have printed out here, lists the locations tables, lists specific locations for a particular locale, such as New York. 9 location tables exist. At minimum, a location table contains one entry that funnels investigators to another location table. Most also list neighboring location entries useful in play. Examine the tables carefully. Copy or print out the page for reference during play. Right. Right. I'm already getting antsy about this. Within a location table, all locations are equally accessible except Holt's and McShane's apartments in New York City, which are the starting points that contain no information. You can visit a location, McShane's. There's no McShane in this one because they changed her name. There's a few typos here. That's okay. Because it was Lydia McShane, now it's Lydia Lau. Maybe. Maybe Lau is the typo over here. You can visit a location as often as you wish, but many are open only parts of each day. At a location, die rolls may be needed to gain information or interviews. Those rolls can be attempted only once daily unless stated otherwise in the perimeter entry. Locations not investigated will likely remain unknown. The adventure will not force you to visit every entry. The location tables are menus of clues and possibilities. As with items on your restaurant menu, some entries will be more beneficial to your investigator's health than others. Format. Entries are numbered consecutively from 1 to 539, not 593, sorry. All entries present information in the same way. The entry number is in large bold numerals. The entry is 1 for the location. The entry is 1 for a location. It gives the name in capital O's, such as taxis. Okay. Special instructions for timekeeping and travel may be given. Then the entry may elaborately describe a scene or briefly comment on a situation or merely refer you to a second entry. After that, the entry might instruct you to go to a certain entry or ask you to choose an action or to roll a die, which have different outcomes. If there are no go-to instructions, either you must return to your previous entry or you've reached a location from which you may go to any other location on that location's table. See, we've got certain information, but I don't remember it all. Like it's the east side of the pyramid that has the secret panel. But I never got that far, so to use it because I went to jail. If a telephone symbol is beside the entry, you can call to or from that entry location to any other location that might have a telephone for the routine information within that location. If a telephone symbol is beside the entry, you can call to or from that entry location to any other any other local, learn to read, location that might have a telephone for the routine information. Oh, okay. So I can call, right. So if I've got a phone, I can call any of the phone locations and still get the routine information. That kind of contradicts what I read earlier. The parentheses number of numbers at the end of the entry are trace numbers showing the entries from which you may have come from in order to have arrived at the present entry, allowing you to backtrack if necessary. Which I think that's a genius move, and it must have been a pain in the ass to do. Sometimes the trace number may be replaced by a notation such as Athens location, which shows that you could have arrived at that entry from any other Athens location, and that you must choose another location as a destination if the text gives no other go-to reference. Occasionally you will encounter the phrase, "the end." I did that a lot. In capitals. This signifies that your investigator is doomed, not that the adventure is over. Activate the next investigator in the sequence. Sometimes it means you've won, of course, but not very often. I never won this game. Died several times, but we do have a little bit of background information now. Okay, here's some tips and hints. We'll go over them, and then we're ready to get started. We're gonna move to page 11 and entry number 13. We're gonna be changing names as we go. Think strategically. Make general plans. There's no way to know what happens from entry to entry. In general, either a place is recognizable as potentially dangerous, or the description will be cryptically threatening. Despite the obvious danger, often your investigator will have to go anyway. That's their fate. Use the phone. Make notes concerning what you want to do and see. Try to arrange an efficient daily schedule. You can make all the plans you want without expending any game time, as long as you stay inside the entry. All points... Yeah, we got to plan ahead. I've done that before, and the phone is super important. Because a lot of times I don't consider a phone call to find out what hours a ship is leaving to cost any time. It takes 5 minutes. All points on a particular location table are, in game terms, equidistant. Yeah. Go nowhere without reason. Be cautious. Allow for wild goose chases. The few friendly characters in the adventure can be of considerable help. Some unfriendly characters, of course, can be downright deadly. Yeah, I got murdered by two people I thought. Well, one I didn't trust, but the other one I kind of did, and monsters got killed by monsters. We're still in the introduction. If anybody's just tuning in, but we're almost done. We're about ready to actually get started with the scenario. We've set up our professor here, Professor Green, Lester Green. Somebody's beeping me somewhere. I hear a beep on my phone. That's okay. Keep track of time. You're racing against events beyond immediate control, and failure to keep accurate time may mean that important events do not happen. That may be good or bad. Be honest in your calendar timekeeping. Your investigators need sanity, friends, language skills, good physical condition, and equipment and supplies. You may be asked to choose a skill to use from a selection. Not all available skills will yield useful information. Sometimes it's about picking the right skill in the right location. Use your luck points wisely and never let your luck total fall to 0. Yeah, we can't get luck back and we only have 50 points, so I'm going to try not to use it. If we're real close a couple times, I'll probably burn some luck. I hate that rule. It gives characters too much. It gives players too much control, in my opinion. In Call of Cthulhu, you should feel like I always feel playing these. So this particular solo scenario, I'm out of control. I'm never going to get anything done in time. If you're asked to make a survival desert skill roll, and you have the survival skill but not the geographical specialism, you may attempt the roll at hard difficulty, half chance. I do not have survival, so if you become disoriented by an entry, go to the locations table and try the sequence again. Oh, okay. If you've not previously done so, make sure that you have done all the tasks listed in preparing the start, page 3, and the start of your adventure, and then start your adventure at entry 13 on page 11. So, Alone Against the Dark, Redux. It is 1936, September 1st, 1936. I'm playing Professor Lester Green, professor at Miskatonic University. 5 years ago, several people investigated the Carpathos device. However, it disappeared. No one was certain what actually happened to it. When the last of their troop, they weren't a troop, but when the last of them went to prison, everything was forgotten. However, it wasn't buried forever. 6 months ago, the Carpathos device was once again discovered near Athens, Greece. Apparently, we don't know what happened to it, but what's his name does. What is his name? Somebody is beeping me again. I wonder if I'm just frozen. Devin Wilson knows. He placed it. Let me check this real quick. Is this anything? No, it's reels. Devin Wilson placed the Carpathos device. He dumped it in the Nile. It must have washed downstream because evil cannot be hidden for very long. And was again found by somebody. I don't know who. We'll figure that out when we see the entries. Not fishermen this time, but scuba divers. I don't think there's scuba diving yet here in 1936. Divers found it off the coast, took it to Athens. Greek divers off the coast of Egypt found it, took it to Athens, and placed it back in the museum there. Lester Green had read certain letters, notes, telegrams, because he had known Louis Grunwald before him, who had died 5 years ago when he traveled over to Athens. He died in Athens. No, he disappeared. He disappeared in Athens. So he's always curious about the Carpathos device. Now his history seems to be repeating itself 5 years later. For you, Professor Lester Green, this first day of September 1936 has been tiring and uncomfortable. Light mist has covered Arkham for most of the day. You held two uninspired undergraduate classes at Miskatonic University, and you met with the new chairman of the literature department, a giddy technocrat. You survey your desk and see that a stack of papers to grade has already formed. You're enjoying your second pipe of the evening and putting off grading papers when the doorbell rings. To your surprise, it's a telegraphic messenger. Well, this is like verbatim, the original. It arrived at Kingsport Head Station not more than an hour ago, the boy says. You sign for it and slip a dime into the youngster's hand. Oh, thank you, sir. You open the envelope and scan the contents. Handout Dark 1, page 12. Oh, here we are. Athens, Greece, station. We're going to say 9136. VII, Kingsport. Kings Point? That should be Kingsport. In jail for antiquity theft. Stop. Need help. Stop. Can you come? Stop. Urgent. Stop. See Corporal Ilionis, Athens Bureau of Investigations. Now, this was originally signed Gliere. We are going to rename Gliere Dupont, because it just popped in my head. My goodness, you think. Imagine. Dotty old Dupont in prison. You recall he had gone to Greece to work on his book concerning primitive myths. What has he gotten himself into? Should you wire money? You recall all the amusing discussions you've had with him, and a sudden insight lets you understand that he sounds French, Jacques Dupont had no close friends except for you. Should you go help him? You suppose the university will grant you leave, but do you want to go? Good question. With uncommon speed, you decide to go to Athens to help Dupont. You write him a wire, and another to Ernest Holt, a wealthy New York... not Ernest Holt. We renamed this guy. What the hell did we rename him? Oh, he's on the back of the character sheet. Eric Hutton. A wealthy New York financier and a good friend of yours. If you get in hot water, Hutton will help. And so you decide to keep him posted on your progress. You give both telegrams to the waiting messenger along with the necessary funds. What to do now? You'll have to go to the bank first thing in the morning to get travel funds. As for transatlantic schedules, well, the advertiser surely carries that information. As you pack, you wonder if you should check Dupont's room at Mrs. Harding's boarding house. Maybe you could get a clue about Dupont's activities or a hint about his arrest. History seems to be repeating itself. It's very strange. You remember 5 years ago reading about the disappearance of a Tibor Gliere. This seems to be connected somehow. Your passport is in order, your clothes and sundries are packed. You'd best turn in. You're going on a little trip. When you awaken, it is September 2nd. Go to 102. Okay, so we'll mark September 2nd here. 102. Let's see what we got. If it's after 8 September, go to 147. If not, and if you're Grunwald, in this case, if you're green, you can rest and have a repast. Go to any Arkham location. Yeah, okay. So we are green. So we can go to any Arkham location. We got the location table right here. So we have to eat. Let me have this. Wow, we just lost September 1st like it was nothing. Okay, so September 1st is just gone. We're up at 6 a.m. We'll spend an hour eating. We got plenty of sleep last night. What have we got? All right. Um, we can't make long distance phone calls? Is that what this said? Telephone each location. You obtain my phone calls. You can call local calls convenient. Long distance calls are not available. So I can't call New York to find out when. Actually, all right, so we're going to make a few phone calls this morning. These are not going to count against our time, or they'll count. I'll do them during breakfast. Let's call the Arkham Advertiser first. Arkham Advertiser. Information available by phone. For scheduled sailings of ocean liners, go to 136. We can get that. For news in Athens, go to 80. For each hour spent browsing through the paper's back issue files. We're going to go to 136 and 80 first. I want to see if they know. And then I got to call the depot, find out when the trains are leaving. 136. A Cunard liner departs Pier 56 in New York every Saturday for Athens and Alexandria. All right, it's Wednesday, so we have a couple days. We got to figure out how long it's going to take to get there. With intermediate stops, the trip takes 9 days to Athens and one more to Alexandria. Return to 60. Right, 60. Okay. Ouch. Oh, my legs are cramping. Up. News of Athens. Let's check news of Athens. In a gala ceremony, Zeno Pisistratos was installed as a curator of the National Museum of Archaeology at Athens today. Pisistratos, an expert in Greek and Egyptian antiquities, is said to be interested in arranging exchange exhibits with other important world museums. Arkham Advertiser, July 20th, 1936. Now here's the problem. This same guy was put in 5 years ago, almost the same date. Interesting. Go to 60. Okay. So those are the Arkham Advertisers. I can go there and do library use, spot hidden. Oh, you may also attempt a luck roll. We might want to do some research at the Advertiser. Let's call the Arkham Boston and Maine Railroad. That's also a local call and should only take a few moments. We're going to 16. If heading for Boston, trains leave at 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. The trip takes an hour. You may wait for your train on arrival in Boston. Go to 64, or go to any other Arkham location. 9 a.m., 5 p.m., noon, and 5 p.m. We could leave today. I don't know how long it takes to get. It shouldn't take too long to get to New York. Who else can I telephone? Let's also telephone. Oh, Miskatonic's not open. Oh crap! I screwed up. The Arkham Advertiser is not open yet either. Respectable hours. Tell you what, we'll make these phone calls at 8 a.m. and that way we can make these other two phone calls too. Let's telephone Miskatonic University. I feel like I did all this before, exactly the same. Information available by phone. The MU Library is open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. To visit the library, to see the chairman of history department. Oh, I gotta go see the dean to make sure I can leave. Yeah, we gotta check in on that. So that phone call is kind of irrelevant. So we're gonna head these were telephone calls. We're going to head on to Miskatonic University. Take us an hour to get there, so we arrive there at 9 a.m. I need to see the dean. We've got to make sure we've got clearance to leave. The dean shakes his head. Out of the question, Green. I've already had that young dolt Perkins covering for DuPont, and now you want to leave? Not a chance, sir. Does the dean leave you no choice? To threaten to resign, go to 186. To forget the whole business and let DuPont fend for himself, go to 574. Well, no, I'm not going to forget the whole business. Let's go to 186 here. 186. Well then, sir, I resign. I resign my position, and I will never see you again. Good day. Resign? Oh, my dear fellow, I apologize. I should have recognized how serious you were. Go. Save poor DuPont's hide. I know you'll do it speedily and judiciously. The university will certainly pay for your round-trip ticket. Oh, that's handy. As you leave, you hear footsteps move quickly away from the door. But when you look out in the hallway, it is empty. Well, that didn't take very long, so we're going to go ahead and say, let's go see Dr. Martin Fenn, chairman of the history department, before or on September 8th, 122. We're going to try to get all this stuff done today, so we can leave tonight at 5 o'clock. 122. His eyes narrow as he hears your news. DuPont in jail, and you want to go rescue him? You'd best talk to Dean Wilcox. Oh, okay, Wilcox, good. Which I already have. If you want to talk to the dean, go to 100. If you don't, then go to 82. No, 82 is just back to... That's a waste of time. Who the hell's following me around? Oh, I could also visit the library. Let's slip by the library. Let's add another hour. It's 10 a.m. I want to hit What's-Her-Face's house. We might not leave till tomorrow morning, but we'll see. I want to get on the first ship out of the country, though. Where else can I go in Arkham? Oops, this is the wrong sheet. Where's my list? Here we go. Where else can we go? The bank. Oh, I gotta go to the bank. I gotta go to the general store. The hospital. No, but we're gonna go to the Harding House too. So we got 3 more stops after this one. I just marked it. It's 10 a.m. and we're gonna go to 145, which is, and well, we're gonna see how much time it's gonna take to do some research. But I really, I should go by the Examiner too. I think we can get out by 5 o'clock if we rush. 145. For each hour, Miskatonic Library, attempt to make a successful library use or spot hidden roll. If you make the library use, go to 25. For the spot hidden, go to 70. You can turn to Miskatonic at 82. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's try a library use. We gotta watch our time, though. I don't have to eat lunch. We can skip lunch. So, at 10 o'clock, we'll do a library use. We've got 60% chance. Let's find the right dice here. Here they are. These are bonus dice. That's a D20. I was using that for Dark Ages. 60%. 07 is an impale. That is a, well, that's old terminology. Extreme success. So let's check off library use. Check. What do you got for me? 25. Aristotle Milonus, while collecting an undeniably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even show some of the National Museum's most interesting treasures. We'll have to change that name. The Carpathos device, for example, has not been displayed in years. Its loan to other museums is, according to Milonus, unthinkable. Great museums of the modern world. Oh no, that's a book. If in Arkham, go to 145. Yeah, we're going back. If in New York, go to 74. 145. That's an hour. The 11 o'clock hour. We're going to do the spot hidden. 145. My spot hidden's only 25%. Yeah, I never upped it. I wish I'd have rolled this for the spot hidden. Let's try. 38 is a fail. So that was a waste of an hour. At noon, where I keep losing stuff that I need here. Hold on. Here we go. Let's put this here, and that way I can just open and close this. Okay, Arkham First National Bank. We're going to take out the money that we need. Arkham First National Bank. Deposits and withdrawals are possible between 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. If you're Professor Green, your account is here, and you could withdraw up to the cash amount noted on your investigator sheet, which I do. I don't want this to fail for lack of funds. Arkham General Store we need to go to. That is going to be 1 p.m. Arkham General Store is 38. We're going to go buy a gun. Retail store. The retail accepts currency from any country. You can buy most any item. You can also buy a hand-to-hand weapon or a handgun. Then go to any location on the appropriate location table. All right, so a pistol. I want to buy a pistol that'll pack a little punch, but also that is not so big that I can't conceal it on my person. Weapons. Handgun. I want a handgun. I would like a 38 revolver. That does 1d10 points of damage. And I could potentially fire it 3 times with penalty dice. So, let's put that down here. Gear and possessions. 38 revolver. And we'll buy an additional 20 bullets. In addition to the 6 that are inside. So let's mark that here. I have a feeling. Let's see, did I up my fighting brawl? I didn't. So that's going to be 25, 12, and 5. Yeah. My 38 revolver, I've got 40% chance with that. 20 or an 8. It does 1d10 points of damage. That's a good little revolver. It's unlikely it won't jam. I might have some bad bullets, but at least it doesn't jam. Thank God. I do not want to have another. I took a semi-automatic pistol. Uses per round is 1, 3. Ammo is, I'm assuming, 6. And malfunction is 100. My gun jammed, and it was useless for the rest of the fight. If this one jams, I just can't shoot that round. I still have bullets in the gun. Alright. We have acquired a revolver for Professor Green. Where else did I want to go today? I want to go to the Harding House. Last time I went to the Harding House in the other game, I was unable. 1:13. Let's mark off another hour. It's about 2 in the afternoon. I guess we're going to head out. We've been to Miskatonic. Oh, I haven't done any research at the Advertiser. What are its hours? 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's already 2 p.m. when I hit the Harding House at 1:13. So, we probably better stop by the Advertiser. We might have time to look up something and then still catch tonight's train. 1:13, Harding House. Mrs. Harding greets you amiably. She is uncertain whether she should show you, what is his name? DuPont's room. To try Fast Talker, go to 23. For Charm, 45. To use Persuade, go to 67. To try to Bribe, go to 89. I guess we're going to go to 67 because it's a Persuade is my strongest. That's 60%. I upped my Persuade. You should have at least one decent social skill in Call of Cthulhu, in my opinion. Her eyes are weary, but she's listening. Make a Persuade roll. If you succeed, go to 150. If failed, go to 45. Alright. Oh, I never made these before. I think I only did this once, though. Are these the right colors? Yeah. Okay. I'd really like to make this. 53, yes! It was cocked, but I shook it and it fell. So that's a success on Persuade. Hooray! Let's see what she has to say. Succeed, go to 150. Yes, something new. What I'm going to try to be doing, for the most part, is going places and doing things that we never did in the originals. Even just getting past where we were last time. You enter a cautious Oh, she said, okay, go for it. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of stuff here. You enter and cautiously turn on the light to see a room in proper professional confusion. Scattered about are books of myths and fables. There are bundles of clippings from various foreign newspapers. For each hour you spend here, you can attempt one roll for one of the following skills. Each skill should be tried once daily. Crap. Oh, well, hell, I'm not gonna make the train today. That's probably for sure. So, for each hour spent here, which counts as a 2 p.m. hour, let's just go down the list. Cthulhu Mythos, I have nothing. Astronomy, I have nothing. Astronomy is science. It's 1%. I got a 40% in cryptography. Intelligence, luck, spot hidden. I could do all those. Um, Wait. Finished? You may try a stealth roll. Sneak out no matter what the hour is. If you fail, go to 51. If you succeed, go to any Arkham location. Why would I have to sneak out? She said it. She let me in. I'm not trying to sneak out. Alright. Let's try cryptography this first hour. I have a 40% chance in cryptography. Pre-trial, one roll of false skills. We can try once daily. Then I have to make persuade rolls and stuff to even get in. Oh, 48! I'm not going to burn 8 luck. Not when I've only got 50. So we failed that. So at 3 p.m., let's do an intelligence roll. My intelligence is 70. I'll take anything I can get out of this room. 76? Seriously? Oh, that's depressing. They're all so close. So that's a fail. 4 p.m. Luck roll. My luck is 50, or spot hidden, which is 25. Let's try the luck roll. We could still rush. We could still rush to the train station, get there by 5, and get to Boston tonight, which I feel is a good idea. We're missing out possibly on some of the articles at the Miskatonic, at the Arkham paper, but that's okay. 29 is a success for luck, because I have a 50. For luck, successful luck, go to 49. I did not receive much. You find a piece of newspaper with a curious design. To look at it closely, go to 46, then return to 150. Technically, I should go to my house to get my suitcase, 46, and then go. So I think we'll wait till tomorrow morning to go to the station. 46. Come on, brain. Work for me. 46. Curious, you think? That symbol looks almost like a map. See image below. To take the notepaper with you, you take the notepaper with you, go to 150. So here it is. Oh, sweet. It's our clue. Why, that resembles the information that we received 5 years ago with the X on the east side. That gives me my clue to the pyramid. Hooray. Let's do handout. So we got that. Circle that. So we might as well stay. Where were we? 150. And I guess let's try spot hidden. We're not going to make it out of Arkham this evening. We'll have to wait until tomorrow to take the train to Boston. Spot hidden's only 25%. 26. All right, I am going to spend a point of luck to make that successful, which takes our luck down to 49. Hopefully there's a clue. If this is garbage, I'm going to be so disappointed. That takes us to 72. You find a map of the heavens resting in one of the shelves. If you want to take a closer look, go to 24. I do. Or return to 150. 24. The constellations map is quite similar to the copy of Ptolemy's found in the Miskatonic University collection. Strangely enough, the star patterns here are slightly twisted or even completely skewed. In fact, some stars are missing completely. Ooh. Interesting. Alright, I think that's all I can do here today. I mean, I guess I could stay and try to make an astronomy check, but it's a 1% chance. I really don't think that that's worth. Oh, hell, we got no place else to go tonight, I don't think. We can visit the advertiser. What time do the... Hold on, what time... 16. What time does the train leave in the morning? 16. 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. I could take the noon train. Shoot, to Boston, I guess. General store. Yeah, I got to get some supper here soon, and then I got to get a good night's sleep too. So, um, no, it's a 1% chance. I don't know jack about astronomy. So we'll hit B's Diner, 593. Oh, it's already closed. I guess we'll go home. We'll go home at 6 p.m. 102. Where are we time-wise? 423. If it's after September 8th, go to 147. If not, and if you're green, you can rest and have her passed. Go to any Arkham location. Okay, so I don't think anything is open. Advertiser, Depot, First National Bank, General Store, Bee's Diner, Grunwald's Home, Harding Home, Hospital, Miskatonic University. I've already dealt with everything that I really need to do here. I can go to the newspaper in the morning. We can catch the noon train to Boston. That'll give us some time to look at the advertiser at 8 a.m. All right, so we're going to get a good night's sleep on the second. Let's mark this September 3rd in our notes. Yeah, I think so. We're just going to start at 8 a.m. at the advertiser the next morning. I've already eaten because I got plenty of time here to sleep 8 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get up at 2 a.m. No, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else that's open 24 hours. 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Respectable hours. Oh. Alright. We went to Grunwald, or to the house. Let's go to the hospital. And then we'll go home. 585. And then 102. 585. I don't think there's anything here unless you're injured. 585. Hospital. You get tender loving care. Yeah, okay, so this is you only go to the hospital if you actually need to be healed. And there's a few places you have to go. Okay, fair enough. Home to the apartment by 8 o'clock. Bed by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And up at 5 a.m. for some breakfast. We'll say breakfast at 6. We'll putter till 8. We'll make sure that we're at the... I should have bought a car. Oh well. Now I might need this money. So 102 in the morning of September 3rd. And then we're going to go to the Arkham Advertiser, which is at 60. We're actually going to drive over there. Or catch a taxi cab over there. There's nothing about spending money on cabs. That's one thing that is nice that's different. In Call of Cthulhu now, you don't have to keep track of every penny you spent. If you make small spends like this, like I'm taking a cab, then it doesn't matter. For each hour spent browsing through the paper's back issue files, you can attempt one of the following roles. 8 a.m. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I could do 3 things. There's only 3 things. Good. I could still make the noon train. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Oh, yeah, I can easily make the train. So let's do a library use roll first. Our library use is, again, 60. 46 is a success. Nice. So that's the first hour. We're going to go to 48. See what we can find here. Aristotle Milanus, director of the National Museum of Archaeology in Athens, died today. Okay, so we're going to have to change that name. But it's the same guy that died. Weird. It's another guy that died. I got to find a Greek name. Died today in a bizarre automobile accident. His car, apparently going much too fast, spun through the railing of a stone bridge across the Ilyssus River. This internationally known scholar, largely responsible for the protections of many Greek national treasures, will be sorely missed. A reclusive man, Mylonus was unmarried and without other family. He declared always that his beloved Greece was both mother and father to him. Arkham Advertiser, July 1st, 1931. The other was like 2 days later, 3 days later. All right, return to 60. So that's successful. Let's mark off an hour. For successful spot hidden, go to 125. Now my spot hidden's only 25%. What's the matter back there? Who's a balking? 73 is a fail. And I can do a luck check. My luck is now 49. 59. I'm not going to... Well, you can't spend luck to make a luck check, so I don't get anything there. All right. 8, 9, 10, 11. We already had breakfast. We don't have to worry about lunch. So let's head to the Boston Railway Station. We'll get there by 11 a.m. No, we're heading towards the depot at 16. The Arkham Railway Depot. Hold on. I'm trying to get comfortable here. It's not easy. This chair is awful. I just cannot get comfortable. My legs are very sore. All right. So the Boston train to Boston leaves at noon. Takes an hour to get there, so we'll be in Boston by 1 p.m. You may wait for your train on arrival at Boston. Go to 64 or any other Arkham location. So 64. Oh, that's the only thing to do in Boston. Boston Railway Station. There are 2 trains to New York's Grand Central Station. One leaves at 10 a.m. and arrives at 5 p.m. The other leaves at 4 p.m. and arrives at 10 p.m. I gotta kill 4 hours? 10 a.m. So, if I'd taken the morning train, I only had to kill an hour. This wasted time. Go to 146 upon arrival in New York City. Trains depart for Arkham at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. Arrive 1 hour later. Go to 16 upon arrival at Arkham. Should you miss the train, you have friends in Boston who gladly pick you up and put you up for the night for free. You can then catch your train in the morning. So we will be taking the 4 p.m. train. We arrived at 1, so 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we go to 146 to New York. Grand Central Station, 10 p.m. at night. There's a lot of things we can do in New York, too. It is going to be Thursday night. We have all day Friday. What the hell time did the boat leave on Saturday? 136 is scheduled liners. Every Saturday, Athens. Pier 56. Trip takes 9 days. A Cunard liner departs Pier 56, New York, every Saturday. It doesn't say what time, so we'll have to check. Can I call the pier? I can call Pier 56 from the hotel room, or wherever I end up staying here. If arriving in New York City, go to the New York location table. If departing for Boston, there are 2 departures for Boston every day. One leaves at 8 a.m. and arrives at 3 p.m. The second leaves at 6 p.m. and arrives at 12:30 a.m. From Boston, you may connect to local train to Arkham. Wait here for your train. Then go to 64. La 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 la. Yeah. So, we need a hotel. Taxis are always available. Hotel room. So we got to go 56 for a taxi. It's 10 p.m. I got to get a hotel room as quick as I can because I need a good night's sleep. I want to get as much done tomorrow as I can as well. There's a lot in New York. I should have gone straight to New York. Give myself 2 days there. So taxis are 56. Dogs are barking. New York taxis. You can take individual cab trips, but it's far better value to book a cab for a day. Go to any New York location. Okay. I'll probably book a cab for a day tomorrow. The location I want to go to is Hotel with Room Service 583. I think. Let's check what we got here. Holt's apartment. Accessible only to Lydia Lau. I feel like I should go there and chat with him. Yeah. Hotel 583. Let's go. Ooh, there's an interesting picture. Oh my god. explosives. I need to buy some dynamite. I bet. Hotel. What a find. This hotel's cheap. Room, warmy, spacious, comfortable, and clean. All right, so we will have dinner. That takes an hour. Let's put this back here. Dinner takes an hour. We can be to bed by midnight. We got to get 8 hours sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have to eat in the morning. So that puts us at Friday, the 4th. Let's make a few phone calls. Yeah, I consider these free. I can do this while I'm eating breakfast. So, Pier, let's just go down in order. Pier 56. Cunard Lines. Open 24 hours a day. Grand Central Rail Station and Restaurant. Was I already there? Yeah, I don't need to call them. I guess there's only one place I can call. Pier 56. 104. 104. Pier 56. Cunard Lines. The representative informs you that the line departs each Saturday at noon. We have till noon. Reaching Athens at noon 9 days later and Alexandria at 1 p.m. 1 day later. Tickets are available and include all meals. Upon departure, go to 187. All right. We got to figure out what we're doing in New York. So we have till noon tomorrow. Empire General Merchandise Emporium is just to buy stuff. Booksellers. Oh, that could come in handy. It is 9 a.m. The booksellers are open at 10. The consulate's open from 9 till noon. We better hit them first. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is the New York Library. New York Sun is 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. or the successful luck roll. So we want to hit the New York Sun. We want to hit the Public Library, the Greek Consul, and the booksellers. And I think we'll hit the Greek Consulate first. We're hitting them at 10. That's number 30. Let's see what they've got for us, if they can help us. Greek Consulate. Concerning Greek criminal matters, they advise visiting the Athens Bureau of Investigation on arrival. A Corporal Ilionis, they say, is handling the DuPont case. You ask for information about the National Museum and its treasures, but they have only an unhelpful travel brochure. They jokingly caution you about the cab drivers of Athens. You may go to any New York location. Okay, so that just was a waste. Let's hit the booksellers next. No, wait a minute. I want to go to the Sun, and I want to go to the New York Public Library is open the latest. But I think we can do the booksellers in just an hour, and then we can spend the... No, let's go to the New York Sun. I don't know how long that's going to take at the Sun, but I want as much time as possible. Wait, did I already mark that? Breakfast, Greek Consulate. 10 a.m. is the booksellers. Yeah, we're only at the third thing this morning. That was telephone was free. Greek Consulate would have been at 9. 10 a.m. is going to be New York Sun newspaper. Let's see what we got here. '86. The oft-delayed Starkweather-Moore expedition to the Antarctic nears completion, with the date September departure now virtually certain. Actually, that's not accurate because it's 1936. The Starkweather-Moore went 34-35. So this is some different expedition. Bremerhaven, Germany will be the expedition's jumping off point and its last European port of call. An American professor, Dr. Dupont, Dr. Jacques Dupont of Miskatonic University, has been arrested for the alleged theft of antiquity. Miskatonic's Dean Wilcox reports that a colleague, Professor Lester Green, has gone to Athens to investigate the matter for the university. If after September 8th, go to 95. Otherwise, go to any New York location. Okay, that didn't take any time at all. Let's hit E.S. Willett's bookseller. That's going to be at 11 a.m. And that is number, I wrote it down, 54. E.S. Willard's bookseller. 3 floors of books. Some titles interest you. You have enough suitcase room for no more than 3 of these books. Enter any books purchased in your journal. Go to any New York location. All right. Do I speak any Greek? That is going to be a problem, I bet. I don't. Yeah, I ran into this huge problem with the Greek thing. All right. Harrison's English Greek phrase book. I don't speak Arabic either. Harrison's Arabic English. Okay. I do speak German. I'm not going to bother with. Wait, don't I? Yeah, that's my language, German. I don't need that book at all. Cherry Gerard's The Worst Journey in the World. Douglas Planchen's With Lake in the Antarctic. Planchen's Guide to South America. I guess we'll take With Lake in the Antarctic. Okay. Bookseller's done. All I've got left is the public library. And we'll start there at noon on Friday. New York Public Library is 74. Let's see what we can find out. So far, these have all been busts. While not allowing browsers, the helpful librarians provide a selection of books on a topic. They're busy and understaffed, so only 2 topics may be researched per visit. Oh, damn it. You may go to another location and return here in the same day. No rules needed for these books. It takes 2 hours to study each topic. Well, I could go back to the hotel room and return. What time is it? It's noon. All right, I can definitely do at least 2 stuff. At least twice. No rolls are needed for these books. It takes 2 hours. 2 hours to study each topic. That's what's going to kill me. So we'll be here till 4. We can have some supper at the hotel. Come back from 6 to 9. All right, I can do 4 of these topics. So, and then we're done for the day. I should have come in the morning. So we arrived here at noon. So noon and 1 is one topic, and then 2 and 3 is number 2. It's been 6 hours, so then I can go to the hotel at 4. And then 5 to 6 and 7 to 8. So I can get 4 to all these first 4 topics. I bet I've looked at all of these. So we're going to do 116, 85, then back to the hotel with room service at 583. Hotel. Then 6341. Okay. Archaeology. We'll start with archaeology at 116. It is suggested that the Carpathos device found in 1900 and recovered earlier this year is in fact of Egyptian origin or design, but was for some reason stolen. In fact, and there's some notes on it being stolen from the museum in Alexandria. In fact, some scholars have argued that it is one of the wonder devices of the Aten pyramids. If you can make a successful history or hard no, go to 110. There's more information here. Okay, hold on. History is 45. A hard no. Half my education is 46. All right. So 46 it is. I got an 18. That's a success. We'll call that a history check. Cha-cha. Go to 110. So this is 116 to 110. Some of the wonderful devices were said to open secret chambers or panels in the tombs. These chambers were thought to be in places that looked like solid rock. No intact device has been found, though, nor have any such chambers been discovered. Go to 74. Oh, that's back to the New York Public Library. Okay. All right, 85 is Egyptology. Let's see what we got there. 85. Egypt today is an engaging mixture of ancient and modern. Camels and marketplaces are side by side with motor cars and luxurious hotels. Religions of various kinds play a special role in Egypt, some of them of a most unusual nature. It's best, for example, to avoid the occult of Aten, a mysterious and perhaps dangerous group found in the major cities of Cairo and Alexandria. Bedeker's Guide to Egypt. With a successful library use roll, go to 161. My library use is 60. Let's see how we do. I hate that I burned that point of luck. 81 is a fail, big time. Otherwise, go to 74, which is back to the library. So we didn't get that. Then we're going to 63. What was this involving? Greece. Oh, this is probably just useless. Okay, so we go to dinner at the hotel, and we come back. This democratic nation of freedom-loving peoples has a complex and lengthy history. Is this empty? Yeah, I need another beer. Hold on, everybody. I'm dried out in my mouth and my throat. You know what? I forgot to turn on the freaking oven. I usually set it. There's a timer I can set, and then okay. So where are we going? 63. We'll start again. This democratic nation of freedom-loving peoples has a complex and lengthy history. They are fiercely protective of their rights, and even more protective of the precious artifacts of their heritage. Make a successful no roll and go to 25. This is education, which is 93. All right. 91. Wow, that was close. Go to 25. Aristotle Melonus, while collecting an undeniably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even show some of the National Museum's most interesting treasures. The Carpathos device has not been displayed for years. Its loan to other museums is, according to Melonus, unthinkable. Yeah, we got this already. If in New York, go to 74. Right. So 41 is going to be the occult. And I don't... You know what? I will have time to return tomorrow morning. The steamship leaves at noon. The library opens at 9. 9:10. Yeah, I can get to the steamship line in time to go. So I can come back for all others. So 41 is about the occult. Ooh. Attempt the appropriate language roll for each of the following books. For each successful roll, spend 2 hours and go to the pertinent entry. Oh crap, that's not good. Well, it's supposed to be done by 8. 7, 8, 9. Screw it, I'm going to get at least one roll. German. My German's 90%. Let's try Deimeth with a 90% chance of success. Cult of Ghouls, Liber Avanus. Oh, how much Latin have I got? 45. I think we'll go for the sure thing of 90%. 98, I failed. I still failed. I couldn't quite grasp it. Doggone it, that's disappointing. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to have to leave the library now. They're kicking me out. Because that puts it at 9 p.m. We could still... Okay, back to the hotel by 10. I believe that's 583. Hotel 583. We've already had dinner because we left so we could return again. So we get there by 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're up at 6 a.m. again. Breakfast at 6. Yeah. 9 and 10 we'll be spending with all others. So Saturday the 5th. We start at 583. We're going to the public library at 74. I think we've gone to every place in town that's actually of interest. I mean, on the street food vendors, man, I got sick half the time when I ate there, so we're not going to bother with that. 138 is all others, and then we can go to Pier 61. Let's see what we got here. If this is going to be like, you have to spend hours and hours searching for this. I don't want to wait another week. Your mind reels as you see the areas you could study. 3 in particular seem of interest. You may select only 2 areas per visit, but you may leave the library and return the same day. Each area of study takes 2 hours to explore, which means I can do 1. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, but it's not going to take 2 hours plus 2 hours. So I can do 1 before I have to leave. For Polish studies, for Pacific Isles, for Germany. Really? Germany? Let's go to Germany. I don't know if I've ever looked that up before. I don't know why I would want to, but while formerly fashionable, avant-garde has become politically suspect. The occult is faddish with many of the occult. Wait, did I go to the right place here? I went 138, which was all others. Yeah, okay. The occult is faddish with many of the younger politicians. Various readings and portents are said to promise a bright future for the fatherland. To continue research, go to 138 or return to the library main entry. No, I've got to get out of here. So we are going to go to Cunard lines. We will arrive. Wait, 10, 11. We'll arrive right at noon with the drive from the taxi. The Cunard lines is 104. All right, the representative informs you the liner departs each Saturday at noon, reaching Athens at noon. 9 days later, Alexandria 1 p.m. next. 1 day later, tickets are available, including all meals. I buy one. The Miskatonic is paying for it, so woohoo! Free vacation. We have only 10 minutes left in the stream. Upon departure, go to 187. Yeah, we got there like right in the nick of time. And I'm trying to decide, maybe we should end early and start with the cruise next week. Let's take a look at 187. Because this cruise is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's kind of interesting. The Cunard ship activity table. Cunard line, now they actually gave you an activity table thing, or maybe I drew one on here. The Cunard lines are truly luxurious with spacious rooms in nearly every class, remarkable recreation facilities, and a superb cuisine. While you're bound aboard the liners, suspend hourly record keeping, but keep track of days. Resume hourly record keeping when you depart at Athens, which is the following Monday. So we'll hit Athens at noon on the 13th. While you're aboard, resume department. Huh. This is interesting. This might be a little different. We're going to try this out and see where we are. On the first Sunday, which is where we're still at. No, Saturday. So the first Sunday is when we start keeping track. Liner. So this would be Sunday, September 6th. Starting Sunday morning. On the first Sunday, go to 73. Let's see what this has to say. If you have scheduled, right. Okay. On the first Sunday, go to 73. All right, so this paragraph should have been before this one, I think. Starting Sunday morning, select 3 ships activities, 1 for AM, 1 for PM, and 1 for night, each day for the days specified below. When the day arrives, go to the specified entry number and follow that entry to its conclusion. If the activity selected matches an activity there, both in topic and in time. On the second Monday, you're in Athens. Ignore any checks that day if you're continuing to Alexandria. If you disembark at Athens, resume hourly record keeping. I think I need to disembark at Athens for at least a day or two. On the second Tuesday, if you stayed aboard, you're in Alexandria. You have no checks that day either, but resume hourly record keeping at 1 p.m. So, each day, as the first time, we pick 3 things. Now, last time I made like a grid pattern and I would write stuff in. But, I suppose I could do that here too. AM, PM, night. And then just, whoops, that's not very straight. Okay. So this will be for Sunday. And then we can put down the where we're supposed to go. And it doesn't really matter. It's just if anything happens. So, Sunday, AM. Good lord. Okay, we got bingo, bridge, cinema, cocktails, deck tennis, library, mahjong, nightclub, oil painting, ping pong, rest on the deck chairs, rest in the room. Ooh, deck chairs. Let's start with deck chairs. Deck chairs in the morning. Rest in the room. Sauna. Ship's tour. Ooh, ship's tour. We'll do a ship tour in the PM. of the first day. Shopping, shuffleboard, and stroll the decks. I don't want to stroll the decks at night. I think cocktails the first night at night. All right, so our first day on Sunday, we're going to be doing deck chairs in the mornings, ship's tour in the afternoon, and cocktails in the evening. Let's go to 73 and see what happens. 73. If you've scheduled room AM, room PM, or room night, then go to 167. If you scheduled ship's tour PM, I did. Make a successful spot hidden and go to 69. My spot hidden is only 25%. Ooh, 11. Holy crap, I made a successful spot hidden. Check that bad boy off. Go to 69. We'll write that down here. For any other result, return to the ship activity table. 69. Two foreigners stand on deck. The tall fellow wears a robe with a cowl. He is perhaps Arabic or Turkish. A shorter fellow, ferret-like, looks in your direction. Though they seem out of place on the ship, they make you feel uncomfortable. Move on a day and go to 187. 187 is where the ship is. Yeah, okay, so back to 187. We can get some of these days done pretty quick. All right, so Monday, September 7th is going to be 109. Let's see, what do we want to do that day? I think let's go to the library in the morning. Let's do cocktails in the PM this time. I mean, we have to do cocktails, right? And then night, ping pong, rest in the room. Stroll decks. We'll stroll decks at night. Alright, let's see what 109 has for us. I still have my gun in my pocket. So, if you chose stroll decks AM, no. Rest on deck PM, no. Or go to cocktails party, night, go to 183. So, nothing, no occurrences that day. So, Tuesday, September 8th. On Tuesday, 126. Let's see what we're going to do this day. Cinema in the morning. We'll do cocktails at night again. That sounds good. What haven't I done? Oh, the bridge. Let's do bridge in the PM. And this is 126. We might be able to get most of the way through this cruise in the next 5 minutes. If not much happens, to be quite honest. 126. If you chose cinema AM, go to 111. Uh-oh. If you choose shopping PM, go to 133. If you chose library at night, nope, cocktails again. If you've completed all those or are doing different activities this day, then move on in the day. All right, 111. Uh-oh. The film today is Alfred Hitchcock's Murder. You look forward to seeing the film and feel that young Hitchcock is a promising director. Make a listen roll, record the result, and then go to 137. My listen is only 20%. 96. Wait, 99. That's a critical fail. Oh no, I'm gonna die. 137. If you made your listen roll, you hear two people coming down the row of seats and sit behind you. I didn't. If you failed to listen, just as you become aware of people behind you, two massive leathery hands with skin flaking off as they close, clamp around your neck like a vice and start to strangle you. Make a hard strength roll. My strength is 70. A hard is a 35 or less. Holy crap. Somebody's trying to murder me already? You have 1d6 tries to succeed in breaking free before you black out. And I'm going to be murdered if I don't make these. 1d6 tries. Crap. Alright, let's see how many tries we got first. I have six tries. I rolled a star. Yeah, baby. Alright. Come on, dice. 35 or less. Got it the first time. 15. Holy crap. Yes. Broke free. Alright. If you succeed, run out of the theater to safety. You will not be pursued, but your attackers will not be found. Go to 126. Oh, I already did that. Okay, so I was attacked. Alright, that's a good place to actually end for today, to be quite honest. So that's where we'll stop. It's not really a cliffhanger. We're only halfway through the voyage, but we've been attacked on board the liner. Oh my god. Dun dun dun! Oh wait. Well, shoot. I must have put this away. Hold on one moment. If I can find it. Oh, it's moved. Everything is always moved and in the wrong place. Okay, so we're our third day on ship. We get attacked in the cinema. I'm not going back there, that's for sure. We are on our way to Athens. Thanks to Dean Wilcox's telling everybody that I was coming, someone is trying to kill us. Will we survive? Probably not. But we did manage to break free. I've never been attacked in the cinema before, so I have no idea how that could have played out. In the original, we're hitting a lot of things that we didn't hit the first time. But we have survived our first short session of Alone Against the Dark. In this case, the Redux of Alone Against the Dark. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Whoops. I just want it in the background. There we go. Damn it. This thing is so tricky. There we go. We've survived our first session of Alone Against the Dark with Lester Green, Professor Lester Green, in the year 1936, as he follows up looking for Jacques Dupont, who, like his predecessor, Tabor Gliere, 5 years ago, was accused of theft of an antiquity. Dupont knew Gliere, so perhaps he knew something that was going on. We also know that strange things happened in Athens and in Alexandria 5 years ago to certain people. Not people we knew personally, but we did find those notes, telegrams, and letters. So we knew something happened there. We will play Alone Against the Dark Redux again next week, Saturday at 3 p.m. I hope you'll join me as we continue on to try to defy the triumph of the ice, and as we try to finish up what they didn't succeed doing 5 years ago. So thanks for watching, everybody. As always, I appreciate it, and I will talk to y'all next time.